Hello, everyone. And welcome to MT4 Professional's trading strategies using MT4 Professional and the live market scanner. My name is Randy Lindsay. I am host of today's live interactive session. I'm here to help educate and train you on the use of the MT4 Professional platform and using the tools on the live edge of the market. If you have any questions or comments over on the chat panel, please enter your questions there and I'll be glad to get to them in the order that they are received. Just want to remind everyone that MT4 Professional is not a registered trading advisor, so we cannot give you specific trade advice. But what we can do is train and teach you on how our platform works and how to use it on the MT4 platform. Trading with futures, stocks, spot currencies, Forex, crypto has a large potential for reward, but also has a large potential for risk. You must be aware of the risks involved and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. Please do not trade money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so please make sure you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. Never, ever, ever trade in a live account until you have first proven that you can consistently and profitably trade in a simulated account. As I said before, I'm Randy Lindsay, your trade coach and host this morning. Claudio Cardinal is our product development guru and technology guru. We are here to help you getting started, to learn and to apply your tools to MT4 Professional platform. So I want to talk today about trading strategies, 5 different trading strategies that are very popular and common and are used on the platform by many of our traders. I want to talk to you a little bit about what a market scanner is, why you would want to use one, and what MT4 Professional is all about. Of course, I'll give you a live demonstration of the full platform, make you a very special offer, and of course, questions and answers will be available throughout the entire presentation today. So getting into the meat of the things, I'll go right into the strategies. There are many different strategies available, but here are a few of the popular ones. EMA and price, you're looking at the interaction of what price is with a moving average. In this case, it is an exponential moving average, but we're going to go through how price interacts with that and how the platform can set up and use those types of strategies. We're going to look at the MACD and signal indicator. It's one of the more popular indications that you can have in the market. We're going to look at a moving average crossover. So these are 2 different, at least 2 or more moving averages that interact with each other and how we can scan for setups that meet that criteria. Then we can throw them all together. We can look at an EMA and price, a MACD and signal, even throw an RSI in there just to make sure that we are selling in an overbought range and buying in an oversold range. Or we might be checking it for slope. So if the relative strength is rising, then we know that we want to be bullish. If it's falling, we want to be bearish, and so forth. And of course, the ever popular alligator indicator. If we have time, we'll get to that one as well. But the MT4 Professional Scanner can scan for any and all of these in real time, plus many, many more, specifically your own custom ones. So it'll let you know when the conditions are met for a trade setup. So what is a market scanner? What is MT4 Professional? So if you look at all the different Forex pairs that are available for you on either MT4 or MT5, you'll see that there's well over 630 different combinations to look for trade setups between all 50 Forex pairs, 20 CFDs, and all the different timeframes that are available. So do you really think that you're able to do this manually? You can probably do quite a bit, but you can't probably go through all 630 combinations all at the same time without having something doing the work for you. You probably are missing quite a few opportunities. So today, trading on different instruments is a must. So you need to have something that looks for multiple signals on multiple pairs in order to be profitable. Well, in fact, trading uncorrelated instruments really is a way to remove uncertainty and to diversify your portfolio. So it's really an important part of everyday trading. perfect solution for that, of course, is a market scanner. A market scanner is an automatic tool that allows you to scan the entire market at a single glance for any symbol that you have interest in and time frame with your custom rules based on your own standard or custom indicators. So it's not really a signal provider, more a tool that allows you to analyze all of your own strategies using whatever indicators you have at your disposal. One simple example is, of course, the cross of two moving averages. This is probably the highest used cross available, so I'll use it as a good example. So looking at a whatever time frame that you have it selected for, a bullish cross would be identified by green, a bearish cross identified by red, and we'd be using a 15 period and 30 period moving average. So if we have a spreadsheet layout like we do here and a symbol layout, so we can see rows and columns, each column is identified by a time frame and each row is identified by a symbol. So for a 15-minute Euro US dollar to be bullish, I need to see a 15-minute cross over or greater than a 30-minute moving average. That's the criteria. That's the strategy. A 5-minute cross, 15-minute cross, or 30-minute cross, I need to see the 15 period cross greater than the 30 period. I want to see that come out. So if I had something that showed me very quickly something like this that transpired, so I can see where I have weakness coming into even more weakness, I have uncertainty going into strength and so forth, and I have current weakness going into something that's uncertain, then these are opportunities that I see that are starting to present themselves. And if I'm looking to get into an existing trend and I start to see one of these cycle out, then I know I'm expecting it to potentially cycle either back in or to see the weakness in the longer term. Those are all really good. That's all really good information if I have access to something that gives me that cross. So by looking at this example, I can see that a simple moving average cross would give me a really good idea of potential trade applications for a whole lot of pairs. And you can see how quickly you can just rifle through these and see trade setups if you know what you're looking for. So why do I use different time frames? Well, if you trade using multiple time frames, you have a higher probability of a profitable trade. And this is something that's very well established. It's due to correlation. It's just one of the advantages of using a multiple time frame technical analysis. So by checking multiple time frames before you initiate a trade, your trades will be in harmony with the longer time frame trend, and the result will be a higher probability, lower risk trade. Consider the three charts I have plotted out on the right. You can see that the 4-hour is a much smoother trend, even though it has pullbacks. You can see that it has longer periods of trending, even on the corrections, but the longer periods of up moves. And then the down move starts to move with the correction and so forth. Well, if you're trading a 1-hour or even a 15-minute in the direction of these longer term trends, then you're going to be trading in harmony with that longer term. So these longer term trends, shorter term corrections, longer term trends, if you trade only in the direction of the longer term trend, you're going to have a higher probability of profitable ending. If you're trading in the direction of the correction, then just keep your profit targets short, or don't even take trades in the direction of the counter trend. Just only wait for them to resume the existing trend and so forth. So a market scanner that could scan using multiple time frames will give you an advantage because it can be done using your own rules and verified that the direction of the trade is going to be in the longer term trend. So other platforms have built-in market scanners, but a lot of the brokers only work with MT4 and MT5. So we're looking for something on these platforms to give us these types of results. A lot of good custom indicators have been developed on MT4 and MT5, so we're trying to stick with this platform in order to have a scanner capability. But the problem was we couldn't find any on MT4, MT5 that had the possibility of scanning. We can scan on a lot of the other high-end platforms, but it just wasn't available on MT4. So what we did find that was available required high programming skills, or they were unstable, or they only worked with a few indicators or not really the whole system. There were a lot of other issues involved, but the solution that we came up with was to build one ourselves. And that's exactly what we did. With a mind like Claudio, it'll be very simple. So we decided to create MT4Professional as our own tool that we used in our own daily trading. And now it is the #1 market scanner on MT4 and MT5. It's the tool that allows you to instantly scan the market for setups that match your own rules, your own criteria with your own indicators. When you find a good setup, it allows you to enhance it with multiple time frame technical analysis, which really is not easy to do on standard MT4. Stay tuned and I'll show you exactly why and how that's the case. So let me get my MT4 platform up and running. As you can see, here is MT4 account, my Oenda account, and I've got standard MT4 running. I don't have it in MT4Professional right now. So you can see that the windows are all side by side. If I wanted to make one of these windows larger than the other ones, then I have no way of redrawing it. If I were to go into full screen mode, then you can see that there's a lot of wasted space out here on the edge that it doesn't automatically redraw to. And when I go back, I would have to redraw it yet again. So I can adjust my windows by pulling them in. I can add new windows, of course. But if I have a window that's a different size, like this one right here, and this one right here, and I try to do any of these cascade or redraw windows, then it's going to scale and make all of these windows all the same size. And I don't want that. I want these to stay this same size, but I can't really do it easily. So if I have to rescale something, I physically have to redraw and resize all of the windows. That can be a real pain sometimes, and you don't really want to do that. Also, if I want to change the symbols, then I have to physically drag and drop the symbol onto every single chart to do that. Or I have to hit enter, and you can see down here I can enter the symbol or the period of the chart and put it in there, but I have to do that on every single chart individually anyway. So that, again, is kind of a pain. And also, if I want to look at a setup or a trade that's happening like right now, and I want to check it out on all 3 time frames. For example, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the hourly chart. If I want to see when this trend break right here occurred, I can look at the time and see it's at February the 4th at 7 a.m. right there. Okay, so I've got that one logged, but I've got to go over here to the 30-minute now, and I've got to find, well, where is February the 4th at 7 a.m. So see what I'm saying? You got to find it, and then you can't really see on the chart. It doesn't automatically show you. So it's really difficult to do multiple time frame technical analysis to look at time and price correlation. Now let me pull over to MT4Professional. Now I have it set up on a separate profile. MT4Professional comes up as a configuration screen where it's a blank screen and it asks you, how do you want it set up? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up and look specifically at the EMA and price. That's the one that you guys had specifically requested. So you can see I've got an EMA and price setup chart here. I've got one window that's larger than the other 2. This one window right here is a 15-minute chart. The other 2 is a 30 and an hourly chart. Now this same setup, the Euro US dollar, I can see there is a very strong bullish move that occurred right here. So if I were to move my mouse over to this area and click on that, then you can see from this point the correlation between that and the other windows. Now I've got this little chart window set up here like that, so I'll turn that off. And I'll turn that off so that when I set up on this chart, then it'll stay there. Notice that you can see that the setup did not occur at this point, but did occur at this point and did occur at this point. So when price crossed over the exponential moving average, then I would have gotten a signal that would have alerted me to the fact that this is a potential setup in action. And would I be able to trade it or not? And so right now you can see that it's not, but longer term, I've got the advantage of looking back in time. So I can see where it occurred and how it occurred. And when price did give me a crossover, then you can see that at this point right here, price started to move up, and that's where it became active right there. Okay. So when price crossed over, went greater than the previous bar, then I've got a 3 time frame correlation that gave me a beautiful price entry point and a 141 pip price move that came right after. So even if you missed the initial signal of the break above the previous high, the close and open again would have given you another 110 pip move, even if you moved at that point. So that's the idea about the trade, about correlating to longer time frames and about using the tool to see how all 3 time frames are aligned. So the crosshairs give you that multiple time frame analysis capability on all of your time frames. Now you can see the scanner is sitting here working array and it's scanning, but what it's doing, it's looking at the X EMA and price, the exponential moving average and the relationship of it with price. So what it's doing is whenever price closes greater than this EMA, I will get a green cell. When it closes less than, I get a red cell. You can see that the 15 just changed right here. So you can see the price just closed above the 15 moving average, so it went green. But the 30 and the H1, let's see what they are. 30-minute is still under the EMA. The hourly is still under the EMA. See, so you can see I've got a potential setup. Looking at multiple time frames, you can see it's just channeling, it's in congestion. That's not really a trade setup I'm looking for. So I can probably move on to something else that might be setting up a little bit better. So that's how you use the tool. So let's look at the configuration just to see how it does. Click the edit button. Then I click on the charts and you can see the charts are set up just exactly the way you see them on the screen. One large one and 2 small ones. See that? 1 large, 2 small. I have the template selected here to make each one of the charts look just the way I want them to look. And I can establish the time frame to be any time frame that I want that's available on my MT4 platform, or MT5 for that matter. And you're not limited to just the templates that we provide you. You can use any template that you already have developed or any template that you want to make and use that. So by clicking the plus sign, you can pull the templates from your MT4 or MT5 database. So you can use any of these templates, or you can just simply use the templates that we provide from the pull down menu. Any template you load from the plus sign will be available on your pull down menu, and you don't have to use the same template on all 3 time frames. You can use different templates for different time frames if you want to use analysis for those. The scanner is available over here. If you click the scanner panel, then you can see you have access to setting up and identifying what symbols that you're interested in and the scanner that you're interested in. If you click on the left, that goes to the symbol configuration. Any symbol that's available on your MT4 platform or MT5 will show up on this list on the left. So if you have access to it, it'll show up here. Over here on the right is the list that you pre-select. So not everybody's going to be trading every single symbol. So select the symbols that you're most interested in and load them over on the right. You'll find that the platform runs a lot quicker if you keep your symbol set manageable. or to a specific size that you can follow. And if you click this again and then click on the scanner on the right, that's where you get to the actual rules themselves. So we call these color rules. The color rules are the rules that it follows in order to change the color of the scanner. The color rules can be accessed by the pull-down menu, and you click on the pencil pad here. That's the edit button. And this shows you what the rules are. I'm looking at comparing item A, which is current price, has to be greater than the 15-period exponential moving average. Okay, so what it's doing is for a green or bullish condition, I need to see price greater than that. That's what I was looking at, and that's what I showed you on the chart. A bearish condition then is when price is less than the moving average. So when price is less than, like we saw here, that's why the cell was red on the 30-minute. It was also red here on the hourly chart because it's following these two condition parameters. Very simple, very straightforward. If you want to use price, you select price. If you want to edit the price that's used, right now it's currently using just regular price, current price, and the moving average. If you want to edit it, then you can edit the period. You can edit the method, whether it's a simple, exponential, smooth, or whatever you want, and what it's applied to, close of price, open, typical, and so forth. So you have all access to all of those parameters directly. Okay. And if you need to add an indicator or choose any other indicator, then you can just simply use the plus sign, click the choose indicator, and then if you have a custom indicator, you pick it from your computer. Otherwise, just select a standard indicator. In this case, we're looking at price, and I'm looking at current price, or I'm looking at the close of price. So I'm gonna select close to use that one. Click OK. Now you can see close showed up on my menu. If I were to go hit the pop-down menu, then you can see price is still available, or I could switch and make it close. So if I don't want it to just change whenever price is greater than, I want to wait until the price closes greater than. Maybe that's a little bit better indicator for that. So I can go ahead and choose that. Now, notice that the pull-down menu also is included on the conditional sell side as well. So I can set this up and do this anytime I want to and have it set up that way. So clicking OK saves the changes. And you can see I have this same color rule applied to a 15, a 30, and an hourly time frame. If I don't want that time frame, just click the X to get rid of it. I only have 2 time frames. If I decided, oh, I didn't want to do that, I can come back. Then I can always add it back again. Hourly, select the color rule, turn it back on, and you're right back again. Okay, 15, 30, hourly, and you're turned on with your main color rule doing the analysis. So click OK. Make sure you click the Save button. Check mark validates that you've saved it, and then just close the window. And always hit Load button if you've made any changes to your configuration. Once you click the load, then it'll automatically go through and select these. So now instead of looking at price closing greater than, what it's doing is it's looking at the previous close. So currently we're looking at the setups and the analysis on the symbols as they came through. Okay, so we've got a bullish setup on the pound. This one, once it closes, it'll go bullish. And once this one closes, it will go bullish. If I had left it as price, then that would have been bearish, but it's waiting for the current bar to close in order to signal that bullish setup. Okay, so you can change them back and forth if you want to, or if you want that setup to be configured that way, you can. Not a problem. Any questions so far? All right, well, let's see if we can't look at a MACD configuration. Let me see here if I've got just a plain MACD. Here's a MACD right there. Okay, this is, it looks like I got 4 charts up, a 15-minute, an hourly, a 4-hour, and a 30-minute, 15, 30, 1 hour, and 4 hour. This one looks like some moving averages, a MACD, has momentum also on there. So I've got quite a bit going on here. But so let's look at my configuration to see what my scanner configuration is. Right now it's called, my color rule, I called it a trade signal. So let's see what that trade signal is. Yep, it's only looking at a MACD. So those other indicators that I have on the charts are really superfluous, don't really need them, because I'm really just only looking at the MACD. The MACD I'm using, if you notice, the MACD has two different outputs. It has the base indicator line and it has a signal line. Okay, so you can see the base indicator is the histogram that you see right here. It's the white bars, and then the signal line is the red bar that you see. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the base indicator line here, which is the white histogram, versus the signal line, which is the red line. So I'm comparing to see if the white is less than the red here. So anytime you see this occur, that's bearish, white less than red. And anytime you see white greater than red, right here, this is the base indicator, which is the white, greater than the signal line, which is the red, then that's bullish. So when you see this condition right here, in this case, you're bullish. So right here, you're bearish. Right here, you're bullish. Right in here, you become bearish again. Nope, no, it's still greater than, it's still greater than, it's still greater than, no. You stayed bullish pretty much the whole time. It's greater than, greater than, greater than, greater. Right there, you're bearish. So at that point, you become bearish. So you're saying that you're buying, you're selling here, you're buying here, you're selling here. So that's the MACD strategy, and that's what these conditions are telling you. If that condition is true, it'll turn it red. If this one is true, it'll turn it green. Otherwise, it'll turn it yellow. Okay. So I've got the conditions. All right. So in looking at any of these setups, then you can see across the board, the pound is looking at a 15-minute sell with a longer term buy. So if I'm looking at those. This one I'm looking at a 4-hour, although it's not on my scanner. So I can get rid of that, have a much larger 15-minute, and then have a 30-minute and hourly chart set up like that. I can get rid of the momentum indicator. I don't really need it on my charts, but it's not taking part in the thing, as well as the moving averages that you see on the chart as well. But it's there just for information or to help us to make a trade decision in the fly if we're ready to do that. So by clicking on the chart, all of my charts are changed and updated at the same time. You can see that the MACD is less than that signal, so that's bearish. The second one, you can see that MACD is greater than, that's bullish. Third one, MACD is greater than, that's bullish. So bear, bull, bull, that's exactly what we've got. And that's exactly what we see on the charts. So everything is true to form, and it signals when the change occurs and when you need to see that. New Zealand Canadian dollar has a green, red, red. There's a potential trade opportunity there. What I mean by that is that you've got a potential trade change coming out. So here's the first change going bullish. There's a potential bull trend forming here. This is still red and this is still red. So if this starts to turn and get stronger as this continues to build, then you're getting in at a very good opportunity. But we're waiting to see that the longer term confirms that that direction is indeed the fact, because you can see from the longer time frame, this just started down into a downtrend. So if that downtrend continues, then this will just simply cycle up to the downtrend line, fail, and then continue back down in a downward move. So it gives you all of that information. You can see it right at a glance, and you didn't know it was there until you clicked on it and saw it. All right, so opportunities are there waiting for you. All you have to do is click on them to get them. All right, it's about half after. What I'm going to do is I'll go back really quickly to my demonstration panels and make you a very special offer since you're part of today's webinar. MT4Professional, the full module is available to you on either MT4 or MT5. The full software comes with exclusive Skype community access, unlimited configurations, all the ones I just showed you, unlimited emails, push notifications, and you get up to 100 SMS notifications included every month. Of course, you can always get more if you need it. You also get all 14 of the pre-configured presets. These are all the examples that I've been showing you, all included on the package. Of course, it's not $22.95. We never sell it for that, only for a limited time. We usually set the price for $194 a month, but we've reduced that by 50% to $97 a month. Got under the $100 threshold, $97 a month to get you going on the full featured MT4 or MT5 platform. Now, what I showed you today were quite a few setups that were looking at anywhere from 50 to 100 pips on a trade. That's much greater than the amount of or cost of the system in general. So you can see that MT4Professional pays for itself every month just by the opportunities it provides for you. Not only does it give you 50% off the current established price, but we give you access to the full platform absolutely free for 14 days. So if you type in the link mt4professional.com/trial, let me see if I can copy that and put it in the chat box here. There you go. If you click on that, then it'll take you to the page. You get access to the 14-day free trial and $97 a month lifetime discount. You won't go back to the $194 per month. You'll get locked into this discounted price for the entire length of your subscription. That's right. It's not just 30 days. It's not 14 days. It's not a quarter. It's lifetime. As long as you have the subscription. You can cancel at any time, of course, in the members area. And I'll show you that right here. In the members area, you can go to the little icon in the upper right once you log in. And under these settings, then you can go over to your subscription. And in the upper right, there's a big unsubscribe button. Just simply click that and you have full access to every aspect of the system in general. Okay. If anytime during your subscription you have any questions, then you can always contact us at support@mt4professional.com. support@mt4professional.com. The link is here on the chat right here, just above you. Oh, I see. I only sent it to host, so let me send it to everyone. There's the email. And let me go back to the link. I apologize for that. There you go. Claudio usually does this for me. So I usually am doing that in the background. So sorry about that, Lloyd. You can see it now, right? Good. Do you have a repo of shared configurations? I don't know what you mean by repo. If you put me back onto a repo, then tell me what a repo is. I'll be glad to answer that. Let me get back to my demonstration here and move this up so you can see the link. Can you use ADX? Absolutely. A repository or a collection? No, we don't actually have a repository of the configurations that have been shared because we don't keep track of people or what they share or how they share. So we do not have that. People share on their own. to whoever they want to share with. So we don't keep track of any of that. We like to keep people's private lives private, and they just do their own thing. But anyone who has access to our Skype chat room can share it with each other, or if you have your own group, you can also share that with anyone there in the group as well. Okay. Can I show any ADX examples? Let me see if I have any configurations showing ADX. I don't know if I do. And so if I don't, I can always add one. So let me go back to my EMA and price. And let's throw on, let's see here, an indicator. Don't have that, so let's go over here to my list. So there it is. Let's throw that on the first chart. Keep the setups. ADX is set up in the lower screen. You can see there is the actual ADX. There's the plus DI and then the minus DI. So if I were to open up my data window, then you can see that on my chart, I have access to all three of these values, ADX, the plus DI, and the minus DI. So if I were to load that into the scanner, then it'll look for whichever one of those indications I'm interested in seeing. Okay, so the idea is to try to get it at that point. So if the plus DI is greater than minus DI, that could be a potential cross for a bullish trend. Okay, so that's showing that the directional index is biased to the bull side. Otherwise, if the red is greater than the green, if the minus DI is greater than the plus DI, that could be a bearish sentiment. And when that cross occurs, and you can see from that point, you're bearish in the market. So the cross of those could be the setup, or you could be looking at the actual ADX indicator itself to see if it's starting to turn, and you're looking at the slope. So if you're looking at the slope of the ADX, a positive slope ADX means you're bullish, and a negative slope then would mean you're bearish. You can set it up any way that you like. I'll just choose the crossover. We could also look at the slope and use it any way that we want to. So click the select configuration button. Before I do that, I wanted to show you this. The ADX is line number 1. So write these down whenever you see these, or if you have access to your data window. When you see the output of the indicator, notice the order that they appear. 1, 2, 3. So when you access it through MT4Professional, you won't see these actual names, but you will see the line number that they're accessing to, line 1, line 2, or line 3. Okay, ADX is 1, plus DI is 2, and minus DI is 3. So let's go into our configuration, edit, go to our scanner, and under our main color rule, we're going to have a edit. We're going to add an indication here. Click plus to choose the ADX indicator. And then from the ADX indicator, you can identify it, input the period, whether it's on close of price, open, typical price, wherever you want. And then the mode is the line item that you're referring to. So here you've got base indicator, which is the ADX. Then you got the plus DI or the minus DI line. So in this case, I'm going to look at the plus DI. I'm going to set this one as my plus DI. Now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Choose indicator, select trend, ADX, use this one. So everything's the same, except this time I'm using the minus DI. All right. So now I have one that's set up that I want to choose the plus DI line. I want it to be greater than the minus DI line. If that's the case, that's bullish. And if my plus DI is less than my minus DI. That's bearish. So these are the conditions I want to look at. Not only do I want to see a close of price greater than the moving average, I want to see my ADX cross in a bullish configuration. Likewise, I want to see it cross in a bearish configuration. Click OK. Now your main color rule has been updated and modified to include ADX crossover. Select OK. Save it. One thing I didn't do is I didn't save the ADX on my chart. So I can click this. Oh, I didn't do that either. So I need to right click on this, go to template, click save template to, I'll make this one the, I'll call it EMA ADX. That's all I'm going to call it, EMA ADX. Just save it. Now I'm going to pull in the indicator EMA ADX. There it is. Template. And since I've already loaded it, I can just pull it up from the menu, ADX. Select OK and save. Close the window. Always hit the load button. And there you have it. So I've got a 15, 30, and hourly chart looking at not only the moving average, but I'm also looking at the ADX, which is now loaded on all three of my time frame charts. See that? So I'll close my data window since I don't need it anymore. And notice how all the windows just redraw automatically. I can even go full screen mode if I wanted to. And look at that. Beautiful. It just does it all for me. So that's what a system should look like. So the ADX now, it's looking for the bullish cross. You're looking for price crossing over the AMA, and you're looking for the bullish crossover at the same point. Okay. So if that's greater than that, and you get a crossover, this right here causes your system to go green. In the second case, okay, the second time frame, looks like you have a bullish cross here, and price has not crossed over yet, so it's neutral. In the third case, you don't have a bullish cross. You also don't have price crossover, so that means that the red is still over and price is still under. So that's giving you a red signal. So everything is set up and it looks like it's functioning as you would expect it to. This is yellow because this is true, but this isn't. And you can see this looks like it's crossed over, but it's not the close of price. Yeah, I'm looking for the close of price greater than this. As soon as this current bar closes at the end of 30 minutes, then it'll signal, give me that. Because we all know that at the end of 30 minutes, this price could close underneath that price bar, underneath this moving average. So we've seen that happen time and time again. So usually we wait for the close of the price bar to validate that that directional component has been done. All right, questions? If you like this example of an EMA and price with ADX, I'll be more than glad to send it to you right now if you want to have that as an example. So by doing that, select configuration, click edit. I'm going to change this EMA and price new. I'm going to call this one EMA and price with ADX. Like that. Shows how to compare EMA and close price on those time frames. And include the DI plus and DI minus. Oop, missed it. Cross. Save. See this little share button right here? I'll click on that, and all I have to do is type in the name of someone I want to share it with. So do I want to share it with there you are. Let me share that with you. Since you asked the question, there, you now have a copy of that configuration. I just sent it to you. All right. George, Evan, I do not have an example because I set this up for today's demonstration, so don't have that for you. I apologize. I can send you this configuration though if you'd like. Okay. You're welcome. The idea of this is to show that you can set up anything based upon your rules, and you can identify it based upon your own indicators. That's the whole idea behind this. Not that it's set up, but it's that it's capable to allow you to do whatever you want to with the system. All right. There's push notification and email capabilities. Absolutely. Here, let me show you. Even the mobile capabilities as well. So let me show you a mobile setup. This right here is a browser. It can be on your portable device, your phone, your iPad, whatever you're using. And this is connected to the MT4Professional members area. You access that through the main MT4Professional website. Click on the sign in button and it will log you into the members area. Here you can download the software directly. You also have access to the onboarding process to go through all the steps needed to get you up and running very quickly, including full access to our documentation center, which gives all the quick start videos, the MT5 support, any help for Mac users, how to uninstall. All of the examples that we give you are gone through in detail here, and you get full access to your members settings as well. So all of that is online and at your disposal. If you click on the real-time scanner button right here, then they'll take you to the real-time live scanner setup. So this is on your mobile device, of course. So I'll move this down so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. I'm going to pull my MT4 platform application up, and you can see this is the scanner here that I'm currently using. And this right here is my mobile device. And so I couldn't stay at my platform. I had to go out to lunch. So here I am at lunch, and I was able to pull up my platform from home, and I can see exactly what is setting up on all of the pairs using my mobile device here. And of course, I can look at all of those if I wanted to. If I want to interact with it and I can see that there's a potential setup here, then I can click on that. And when I click on any of these, notice the symbol on all of the charts here. When I click on that, which one was that? New Zealand US dollar. I click on it here, it changes the symbol here to the New Zealand US dollar. And it gives me a snapshot of that New Zealand US dollar right now live, showing that setup, that specific setup that I wanted to see. And that this right here, if this is the breakout and trade setup that I wanted to see, then I want to say, I want to take a trade right now. And I pull up my mobile trade application with my broker and place the trade right then. So it's that simple. And you can see this is using the exact same setup that we currently had done there. So this is an example of how you can take it with you anywhere, anytime, with any type of notification. So once these change over, then you can see there's a notification bell here that shows you the system that identified the setup and a link to it that enables you to click on it and see the actual setup from the snapshots that you've taken. So all of the snapshots can be available here. So if you have any specific setups, then you can see all of the snapshots that you've taken with the system currently available here in the members area. And you can share these, make them public or private. And you can even take the link that we make available to you, copy it, put it out onto your social media or onto your website or anywhere else that you want to make it access to, and then use it that way as well. Okay. If you have multiple accounts, then you manage all those through here. And you can simply, if you have just one demo and one live account, then if you have two demo accounts you want to log into at the same time, just simply click the delete or remove license button here, and that allows you to log into another account. So it's just that simple. So you can delete all these. It's not going to mess you up. All you have to do is just re-log in to that platform using the same login information that you have on the system when you log in. And it's the login to MT4Professional is the same login that you would have on the members area. So that way you never lose a trade. You don't have to be stuck to your trading platform either. You can get out and go on your merry way and do what you need to do. So it's all available to you in real time. So are there any other questions? I think I answered most of the questions. Can I show, Victor wanted to know if I could show, let's see, I did that one. Can I show how to catch a pullback in a specific level or a moving average? Well, the easiest way to catch a pullback, if we're looking here at a moving average or price and moving average interaction, or even an ADX or DMI, you're looking at the change in colors. So a pullback usually occurs when the highest time frame changes color against the continuous time frame. So let's look at the Aussie CAD, for example. The Aussie CAD on the setup, you can see that it has changed and rolled over and started turning back up again. You can see that the longer time frame has not crossed over the EMA yet, but the shorter time frame has. The ADX just went bullish, and this just went bullish. So the Aussie CAD at this point was then going to start going into a bullish setup once the configuration comes. So it's waiting for the current bar to signal that change. And in this case, it already did. So I'm not sure why this Aussie CAD is not green already, unless it's going to change right now. No, it didn't. So I would need to look at my rule set to find out why this didn't already go green. That's red, that's red. This should have signaled green already for a red, but this is what you're looking for. This is the crossover that you'd be identifying as a pullback in the direction, against the direction of a longer term trend. So that's what you would be identifying. New Zealand US dollar would be the same way. Bull, yellow. Here we've got the setup. This is bullish. This one is bullish. And this one will be bullish as soon as this one closes, because the crossover just occurred. So this one, once it closes, so it's indeterminate, yellow on the longer term. But what happened was this was already cycling and in congestion, but it's looking like it's just starting to break out. So that's the idea behind catching that. Okay, Victor? So George says, will my support and resistance lines I put in for each symbol remain when flipping through the symbols in the scanner panel? Of course they will, because the configuration is based upon your settings. Now, if you put the support and resistance lines on manually, then you'll need to save that as a template and make it part of your configuration if you want it to be part of each of the additional ones. Okay. Does that make sense? If I were to draw, let me put a trend line on here. Just okay. Now, if I were to click on another symbol like the pound, then notice it's not going to be on there, but it's on the New Zealand US dollar. Okay, so it's not going to be on all of the symbols. It will only be on the symbol that you apply because it's data specific. Any indicator or any other software that you save as a template will have all of the indicators on it, but it won't have those setups because they are very much data specific. Okay, good. Are there any other last minute questions before we head out? We're getting very close to the end of today's presentation. Again, if you want to get started with MT4 Professional, then here's the link. Let me paste it into the chat box one last time. MT4Professional.com. Get access to it, $97 a month. You get the first 14 days absolutely free. Make sure you cancel your subscription, your trial, before the 14 days are over so you don't automatically get charged. And make sure that you contact us at support@mt4professional.com if you do have any questions or you need some questions before you start your subscription and get going on that. All right. Very good. Doesn't look like any more questions are coming in, so that about does it for me today. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. I appreciate it. I will be here in exactly 2 weeks from today for another live presentation. Until then, you can always find me in the MT4 chat group on Skype. Take care, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye for now.